Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we have a dongle DAC and it is the xDuoo Link2 Bal. Let's get it. What's cracking audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. Here's the box for the Link2 Balance. Now, one thing I've learned about xDuoo products is generally you get a really good bundle inside the box. But before we dive into that, let's talk about the price. The price is $149. So it's in that middle tier of dongle DAC price. And in terms of your specifications, you're looking at dual CS43131 DAC chips and a 270 milliwatt output from the balanced jack. So let's have a look at what you get inside the box. First of all, you get the DAC, that's it there. You also get a USB to USB-C cable. You also get, rather unusual, a bit rare, is a Lightning to USB-C cable. And then you get a USB Type-C to Type-A adapter. So yeah, pretty good out of the box. You're ready to go. Especially iPhone users will appreciate that addition. Let's have a closer look at the unit now, and that's it there. And I think this is one of the best looking dongle DACs on the market. On the front and the back, you've got this nice glass panel. It's very sweet. And at the top of the front one is a very small LED, but it's not distracting. However, it's easy to see even in bright light, so I like that. On the side here, you've got, ooh, we got a sticker, boys and girls. Yes. And on top of that, you also get some media playback buttons or playback controls. Here's your play and pause button, and of course your volume up and down. And these buttons work on with your smartphone, and they work on Windows PCs and laptops as well. So that's really handy. Now over on the left side, you've got these two switches which make the Link2 Balance somewhat unique. First of all is a USB 2.0 or 1.0 selector switch. Basically what that does is if you have an older Windows device, sometimes you might experience compatibility issues with DACs like this. And if that is the case, you just flick it over into 1.0 mode and you should be right. The other switch here is the mode switch, which changes between normal and turbo modes. Basically what that is your normal and high gain. And speaking of gain, yeah, this thing's got some nice output power. So here's your jacks here. You got your 3.5mm unbalanced and a 4.4mm balanced jack. 270 milliwatts output from there. So this is one of the more powerful dongle DACs out there. But you know what's really cool about it? It doesn't even get warm during use. It stays very cool to the touch, and I appreciate that, especially on the rare occasions when I do go mobile with DACs. Generally, I prefer just to use these with my laptop at work. But in terms of build quality, this is just beautiful. I think this is wonderful. It's one of my favorites. And by the way, the weight of the Link2 Balance is just 28 grams. Let's get down to the nitty gritty now and talk about how this guy sounds. Now, I tested the xDuoo Link2 Balanced here with a variety of IEMs and headphones, including the Zen's Mangird T2, the Tin Hi-Fi P1, and the FIR Audio 5X5. I also tested some headphones such as the Hi-Fi Man Sundara and the iBasso SR2. And I tell you what, it's got ample power for all of those things. It's one of the most powerful dongle DACs available as far as I know, at least in terms of the ones that I have tested so far. But right from the first listen, the Link2 Balanced here had me hooked on its sound. It surprised me with its mature, natural and dynamic sound. The Link2 Balanced has an effortless analog presentation that belies the digital nature of its physical makeup. The sound is transparent and uncolored, and while this is not unique in the realm of dongle DACs, what makes the Link2 Balanced special is the way that it presents music in such a natural, non-digital manner. Yet nothing sounds smoothed over. It's brimming with fidelity and clarity. Yeah, it just doesn't sound digital. It sounds very much analog, kind of It's not the same, not in the same way as the KN-RU6. It's a different kind of analog, but it's slightly smooth, but very clean and very detailed. Now, we've had some experience with dual CS43131 DAC chips in the past. Speaking of, right here, the Tempotec Sonata E44. Now, the E44 here is an amazing device, especially in the context of its price. It's a roughly half the price of the Link2 Balanced here. But the way the Link2 Bal implements its dual DACs, it sort of kicks things up a notch in terms of sound. One of the things I like most about the Link2 Bal is its organized, large and airy soundstage. I love the way it balances organic smoothness with precision. It's neutral, transparent, it's detailed, yet it's free of any jagged edges or any digital artifacts. It's very much an analog sounding device. So let's do a quick comparison with the Sonata E44. Same dual DAC chips in here, but you know what? The Tempotec just sounds a little bit more upfront, sounds a little bit more aggressive, but at the same time, it's not quite as smooth as the Link2 Balanced. Now, when I say the xDuoo here is smooth, I don't mean you're losing out on any fidelity. It's still very resolving. It's got excellent instrument separation. And overall, I just love the way that this thing sounds. Look, if you are on a budget, you're really not missing out much if you go for the E44 here. They sound pretty similar. I just find the xDuoo to be a little bit more refined and smooth. And of course, the E44 is a 4.4mm only. So if you use 3.5mm plugs, cables I should say, then yeah, this one is not an option, but there are other versions of the Sonata out there. And then we've got the EMN Sparrow. The Sparrow here is a little bit more expensive. It's I think from memory it's like $199. If I'm wrong, I'll throw it up on the screen here, but in terms of size, obviously the Sparrow is small. The Sparrow is one of the smallest DACs out there with balanced output. It is a beautiful little device. It's also got glass panels on the front and back. The Sparrow here also has MQA support, so if you're into MQA, this is one of the few options that supports that, along with some of the high-dis DACs, I believe. But in terms of sound, the xDuoo here is a bit more powerful again in terms of output. In terms of sound, I would say the Sparrow, which by the way has a Sabre ES, I don't recall the exact number, DAC in it. It's got a Sabre DAC. This one sounds a little bit more detailed, a little bit flatter and more neutral, very precise, but it does have a little bit of a, I might say, Sabre glare to it. Take that with a grain of salt. It's not glary and it's not harsh, but it does just have a little bit more of an edge on the upper treble than the Link2 Balanced does. But both of these are wonderful sounding DACs. And the Sparrow is up there with the best of the best in terms, especially in terms of handling. I mean, look how small it is. So if you're a portable user, this is about as good as you can get right now. Anyway, guys, that is the xDuoo Link2 Bal. This is, boy, it's right up there. It is definitely one of my favorite dongle DACs at the moment. Actually, it's probably, I would say my top three are the EMN Sparrow, the xDuoo Link2 Bal, and the KN-RU6, which I have on the shelf behind me. But yeah, definitely one of my top three at the moment. I'm going to wrap it up there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. Don't forget to check the links down below in the description, links to the full written review, as well as links to my social media channels and my Patreon. And if you're new to the channel here and you want to see more reviews like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you later.